Hey, y'all, listen. Happy Tuesday. We're in the building. It's Trending Topics Tuesday, and I'm glad to see y'all hanging out and spending some time with me. Thanks for being here, babe. I'm trying to adjust my little clothes here. I'm sorry, y'all. But listen, the title is simple and it's real easy. It's called Crazy Times. Crazy Times. Now, I know unless y'all been under the dark, y'all been hiding out or whatever it is y'all was doing, you had to have heard about Shannon Sharpe and his lawsuit. This man is, somebody put in the chat for me, how old is Shannon Sharpe? He's in his 50s, right? Is he 60? He old enough to know better. See, a good grown man messing with a 20-year-old. She was 20 at the time when they first met. Messing with a young buck. And he got. He got. Because now she want $50 million. She want to get more than Cassie. Thank you, Savannah. 56. She want $50 million and their relationship wasn't even that long. Cassie endured a decade plus of abuse. And she didn't even get $50 million. Now, this Jane Doe wants $50 million. But Shannon Sharpe got to blame himself. He shouldn't have been in the gym, and I'm going to say this respectfully, picking up strays. He's a big dummy if he don't understand that nowadays everybody got the cell phone. And the people recording you, because when people got an agenda, they're going to record you. I'm not recording not a near phone conversation that I have with nobody. I don't even know if I would know how to do it. I probably have to Google it and I would mess up. But the people are recording your conversations. And if you're talking to somebody and they talking a little off or weird from what they normally talk, just say in your head, they recording you and hang up. This Jane Doe is said to have tons of information because she recorded everything. And I'm just saying to myself, what are you, dumb, stupid, or both? Now, what I don't understand is he did what they call doxing, right? He doxed her. Because she filed as a Jane Doe, and Shannon Sharpe and his lawyer, they put her name out there. And I was like, well, this is a different type of law that's going on right now. It's different. I'm like, is that legal? They put a name out here. I said, Let me say this, though. You know, Diddy is trying to get the judge to have a lot of those Jane Doe and John Doe say their name. And they said no. Now, let me say this. If Diddy was to would have put out a Jane Doe or a John Doe name, y'all would have his head. Y'all would have his head. Y'all said, because, you know, he's so dangerous. He this, he that. It seems like a lot of people in the entertainment industry, they have similar fetishes and they do similar things. I'm just saying, that's all I'm saying. How How did they expose Jane Doe's name? That's crazy to me. Whether this girl is telling the truth or a lie, how do you expose Jane Doe's name? I don't know. But I'm just saying, her name is all out in the streets. He says she's an OnlyFans model. Now he want to out her and diss her. But here's the thing, though. She was an OnlyFans model when you were sleeping with her, giving her money, bringing her the gifts, and on the phone telling her you're going to choke the piss out of her. We're going to talk about it. Then we got Walmart. Now, this is happening in a lot of stores, depending upon what area I'm in. The stores got everything on lockdown. I had to call, like I went to, this was when my son first went back to school. He forgot his socks, and I said, let's just go to Target and get you the socks. Instead of me trying to go back home, bring you back the socks, I ain't doing all that. Let's go to Target. Went to the Target. The socks and underwear was locked up behind the case. You had to buzz the bell so you could get the socks you wanted. And that's where we at. But the Walmart that I'm going to talk about today, they got the meat, the steak on lockdown. Got to call the people over and get the steak. Now, you know it's bad when they lock and they got the steaks on lockdown. Guess the people stealing everything that's not tied down. So you're going to pick out the steak, and I guess they take it to the front. And when you get to the front, you got to be like, I had 3 ribeye steaks. Where they at? The steaks on lockdown. Then we're going to talk about this trend where now the adults feel I'm freezing. Okay, after I bring the people up, thank you, Sasuke. After I bring the people up, I'll go. Maybe I'll hardwire in. I'll go out and come back in and let them start talking. I'll do it after I finish my opening, so I'll speed up my opening. Thank you for letting me know I'm freezing. So this man attacks an 11-year-old because he thought the 11-year-old threw something at his house. So he was going to he wanted to take a picture of her. So he thought it was okay to trap her down. Well, now I'm wondering if he still think it's okay because he's in jail. Now, of course, I'm freezing. I'm going to hurry up and bring the people on in the building because y'all know I can run my mouth during this opening, but I got to bring the people on in the building because we're going to talk about this Shannon Sharpe story first. So listen, everybody, y'all know what I need in the chat. I need a what? I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. It is Tuesday night trending topics, and we got stuff to talk about. Shannon Sharpe is being sued, and he was going to give her $10 million, but she said, oh no. She heard that he's getting this $100 million contract, so she wants $50 million. Respectfully, how do you think you're going to get more than Cassie? Respectfully, if he argued in 2023 and 2024 and 2025, why didn't you go to the cops? It's a shakedown, according to Shannon Sharpe, but we're going to talk about it. We got the meat locked up in Walmart and an 11-year-old getting attacked by a dog. Let me bring the people on in the building. Hey, Leo.
Hey, Diva.
Hey, my opinion. Hey, Savannah.
Hey, Diva.
Hey, Wayne.
Hey, Diva.
Katrina. Hey, Felicia. Hey, Julius. All right, y'all. You know what?
Y'all hit the like button.
Hit the like button. You know, this Shannon Sharpe story has about 90 million pieces moving to it, right? So initially, I'm going to break it down because I'm not going to read all the different pieces. But, you know, initially, they came out and told us about the suit. She's suing for $50 million, right? $50 million. But they tried to negotiate, we found out later, and he was offering her $10 million. The negotiations were going well. They thought she was going to take it. And then all of a sudden they heard that, you know, Tony Busby heard that Shannon Sharpe was getting a $100 million deal. And then on Sunday, he ran to the courts. He loved to run to the courts on the weekend. I mean, do they have a special doorway? I thought the courts was Monday through Friday. He ran to the courts on the weekend and he went ahead and filed this lawsuit for $50 million. And Shannon Sharpe lawyer was like, we thought we was negotiating. It's a mess. Let me share screen. So Shannon Sharpe accuser confronted him over our allegations. He said no means no. So Shannon Sharpe accuser confronted him over the alleged January 2025 SA with a newly released text message showing the woman told him no means no, Shannon. The convo took place on the evening of January 2nd, 2025, the day Jane Doe alleged in her lawsuit that Sharpe argued her. And there they showing the text messages. Doe tells Sharpe in the message, I cried when you left because I begged you to put a condom on and not put it in my A, and you didn't listen. I don't care what our history is, she added. No means no, Shannon. She went on to tell Sharpe, I don't know how to process this. And in response, Sharpe asked if he could call her later. It's unclear if the two were able to talk about the matter on the phone. The texts were released to TMZ Sports along with hundreds of others on Tuesday afternoon. Most of the messages showed what appeared to be a kinky, consensual relationship between the two. In one which Doe sent to Sharpe in June 2024, she says, I want to be abused, Daddy. In another sent in July 2024, she writes, I want you to tie me up like this and abuse me, Daddy. And the third dated January 31st, 2024, she requests some hardcore BDSM action from the Pro Football Hall of Famer. Sharpe's attorney, Lonnie J. Davis, tells us, in his opinion, they show that she likes and asks for fantasy role-playing and other forms of unusual sexual behavior. He also says he believes the messages show a change in her behavior when Sharpe refused to have a child with her. Davis said once Sharpe shut the idea down, he noticed Doe's demeanor shifted. He stated that he believes that's when she began concocting a scheme to blackmail the ESPN personality, which ultimately resulted in her filing her lawsuit on Sunday. Davis went on to once again deny that Sharpe committed any wrongdoing. Sharpe, meanwhile, said in a video earlier Tuesday, those actions were a shakedown, and he's going to sue her for defamation soon. I know my family and friends know exactly what this is about, he said, and I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. And he said, I love you guys. But listen to his statement really quick. And while we're listening, I give you some other brief updates. We found out later on that he tried to negotiate and give her $10 million, but that fell through. He also said that, she was trying to shake him down because he didn't want her to have his baby. We'll take a listen.
Family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about, and I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys.
Every now and then I'll enter a little more. Hold on one second. Let me share a screen. They saying that's her.
To my family.
We already read that. He tried to give her 10 million. And then, no, they want 25 million. 50 million. Leo, your thoughts?
When I first heard this and I seen it was Tony Busby, I still am giving Tony Busby the side eye
Mhm.
because it is you don't always have to lead with the salacious. So obviously, because of the fact that they were willing to, because I don't put to be honest with you, when it comes to Shannon Sharpe, right, I don't put nothing past, I don't put nothing past these celebrities. I don't know this man. I've never met this man. I don't know if you talked about the conversation that was had, that was taped, how he said he was going to choke the,
Yeah.
out of her. I don't, if I read the text messages, I don't doubt their relationship was consensual at all. The only thing that I need to see is the tape. And he is out, proactively now defending himself before we see the tape. So if he's a violent person, because I don't have no doubt in my mind that he is a butthole, he is disrespectful, he probably talked down to her. I have no doubt in my mind. Yeah, I love Club Shay Shay, but I have no doubt in my mind that he probably treated her horribly. By the way them text messages read, ain't no man treating you with no dignity and respect with no stuff like that going on. So I'm sure he did, but I'm going to wait and see what the tape set shows me, because one thing I can be, for certain, that it's bad enough that the starting point was $10 million. It's bad enough. It's just that bad. So it must be horrible. If the starting point was 10 million, okay. Okay. And so I know that Tony Busby representing this woman is not something that he's doing out the kindness of his heart. He's trying to make sure he get fully paid. I understand all of that. Shannon Sharpe, you should have known better. Hey, you too old for this kind of carrying on. Monique tried to tell you that you need to go somewhere and sit down. So that's the moral of the story. You way too old for this. You way too old to be cutting up like this. That's all.
Thank you. And Monique, didn't she listen? Didn't she tell him that? In my
She
opinion,
tried to tell him.
she tried to tell him.
So I'm a two minds here, okay? Um, so I looked at this thing and I'm looking at it and I'm like, both of y'all was with the foolery until you wouldn't. Because let's be clear, we in April. This last encounter happened January the 2nd. Where's the police report? What about a phone call to the police? The statute of limitations ain't up yet. But we so quick to do a civil case where we getting money. And this is the part where it makes it nasty for me. I'm with you when you right. But you can't tell me this happened to you. 3 months later, now you want some money. You don't want to file no charges to make sure he don't do this to nobody else and protect nobody else from getting this happening. But all of a sudden now you want some money. 50 million at that, okay? My next thing is those text messages. First of all, if she was replying like that in the text messages, what in the world was Shannon doing with her in the first place? And if he was talking to you like he was on that phone call, why was you still going back? Because she claimed it happened from 2023 to January of 2025. Ain't no way I'm going to keep coming back if you already hurt me once. What are you going back for? You think it's going to get any better? I just don't understand it. You can't tell me you're a victim in the daylight and at night you run back to him and say, oh no, I'm not a victim no more. No, I can't get jiggy with that. It's the same thing that we keep going through with everything else. If somebody is harming you, putting you in danger, doing something you don't want them to do, file the charges so nobody else has to go through it. And stay away from them. The fact that they both kept going back to each other, they liked it. They liked it a lot. That's all.
Thank you. Katrina, your thoughts? Katrina, are you there? All right, Wayne, your thoughts?
Can you hear me,
Did
Diva?
Katrina come back? There she go.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Shannon Sharpe sent up them extra medium shirts. I feel like and the girl was 19 when he met her. And of course she's gonna keep coming back because he's paying her. What he's paying her 25,000 per cheek. So she was getting paid. So of course she's gonna come back. They both are sadistic because he knew exactly what he was doing. She was young. She knew he had money. He should have been make sure he was covered all the way around. You messing with somebody that you just met at the gym, you doing things, and you thinking this stuff ain't gonna come back. That's why I tell people you never leave a paper trail. You sending text messages, you saying this, you saying that, and this woman taking down everything that you're saying, and you honestly think she wasn't gonna come back for the money. You already started out paying her, so she gonna want more and more. You set your own self up for this fallout. Nobody did it but you, and now you suffering the consequences. And like I said, she's no victim, which I don't think. Maybe she is, but I don't think. You wanted the money and you was getting the money. And now both of you in a sad situation because Busby gonna get the money and go on by his business. Because he has also represented the people with the Tates, with the Tate brothers, the other football player, what was Deshaun, Busby got money from them. So Busby is gonna end up wearing a pair of cement boots. Let him keep on. You playing with these people. Some of these people is not gonna take it. You better get that money so you can pay Jay-Z, which I don't even think you're gonna get no money from Shannon because this woman sitting up there saying that he's doing all this, and the folks gonna look at it, okay, you kept going back, so obviously you wanted this to happen. So we'll see how this turns out because this is ridiculous. He's too old to be doing that mess. He to sit down somewhere looking like Ving Rhames from Holiday Heart. But I digress. We'll see what's gonna happen. That's all I got, Diva.
Thanks, Wayne.
You know, I I think Shannon Sharpe got children. I think he got a daughter.
He does.
Okay. I just wonder how he would feel. Because I know
Mm-hmm.
his kids got to be in the maybe 20s or whatever. I wonder how he would feel if his daughter bought a man home 30 years her senior.
Mm.
You know, Shannon get on there talking about, you know, I'm transparent and all this stuff and my fans and stuff like that. Why are you out someplace like that looking for somebody? I'm going to say this, and this is my personal opinion. I don't think he could handle a real mature woman.
Mm.
They get them young ones like that to have dominance over them and rule them. Feel I won't say inexperienced because she's doing everything. So I don't really have no sympathy for Shannon Sharpe, whether he right or wrong. First of all, I don't know how somebody who's innocent offers $10 million to somebody because it never stopped. And this probably gonna be just like Diddy. Somebody else gonna come up, another Instagram model or somebody, because that seems like who they go after, and say the same thing. I don't think this gonna fly in court, knowing her history and all this stuff. I think they're gonna play that part off that way. He said, "The next time I see you, I'm gonna choke the whatever out of you." I think that's a part of that. He gonna say it's a part of that BDSM or whatever, the bondage thing, and they talk like that. We talk like that all the time. Because from the text you said they were doing this and put it here and all this kind of stuff. I think it was all consensual. It was good till it wasn't good. And somebody put a bug in her ear.
Tony Busby.
Right. And 10 million wasn't enough. It wasn't enough because if they get the 10 million, his cut, his third is still not going to be enough to pay Jay-Z. So he got to try to crank it up there. So when he gets his third, he got something he can give Jay-Z, at least to try to make a little offer or something like, look, I ain't got it all, but I got some of it. So no, I don't feel bad for Shannon Sharpe, you know, because he could have an age appropriate woman if he wants to be classy, but to go out there, get somebody that's probably around the age of your daughter. What do y'all have in common? Absolutely nothing. And for me, I just lost a little bit of respect for him. I'm done.
Thank you. Savannah, your thoughts?
You know, so I am familiar with Shannon Sharpe. He's from Savannah, Georgia, my area, and I actually know a couple of his family members. I've never met him. Shannon has 3 children, 2 daughters and a son. I think the son is closer to the age of this young lady than his daughters. His daughter actually went to school. His oldest daughter went to school with my daughter. So Shannon's always had this reputation of being extreme, and because of the rumors of him enjoying homosexual relationships and how that has always plagued him, he's always made it a point to be very not secretive about his rendezvous and his trusts and things like that. So, but I am shocked that the girl was so young, younger than his children. But I'm not shocked by his behavior or the text messages, because that has been known in the league. I've heard him talk about it with Ocho Cinco on their podcast. And Monique, Kat, Cheryl Underwood, they all warned him about his behavior and telling him to stop messing with young girls and to do better, because he had such a big platform. But I think he thought he was untouchable. So I have absolutely no empathy, sympathy, none for him and what he's going through. I don't think this is a shakedown, because if you were willing to pay her 10 mil, it was because of something. You did something to this young lady, and regardless of their consensual adventures in their bedroom or whatever, she was still legally an adult, and she was a willing participant in this relationship. But if she even said no once, which according to these text messages, something happened where she did not give consent for that thing to happen, then he is guilty of something. So at his big old age, he should know better. And I'm not even gonna factor in Busby. I mean, this is worse than Tasha K and Cardi B. I just, and he's gonna keep leeching on and latching, and don't think he's not out there trying to find more young women that he's done stuff to try to bring him down and shake him down as well. So I don't feel anything for him. I you know, he's gonna have to pay for his behavior and his bad decisions.
Whoa, Natasha, well, thank you for this information. I do know of another lawsuit. I will say that, but did I know of 23? No. She said, I just heard Shannon Sharpe has been sued 24 times and settled 23 of the 24 lawsuits. He's disgusting. Oh, my goodness. Felicia, your thoughts?
Diva, first of all, good evening, everyone. I hope everybody had a really wonderful Easter and an incredible Resurrection Sunday. Are you planning on Diva playing that audio for us?
I could go back up and play it. I mean, it was so disgusting. I didn't want to play it, but go ahead. You could talk.
Well, I thought that first, I thought that was a key piece for me, because yes, she's of legal age, but my God, she sounds like a child on the phone. And he sounds like a mean old man. Yes, he does. And the things that he says to her and how he speaks to her tells you right there that there's an inequity in this relationship. Then you showed the picture. And I thought of those of us on this panel and the folks in this chat who may have a niece, a daughter who's in this business and getting abused like this for some money. I'm wondering where our value systems are, what our values are, and are we imparting the value of self, of who you are and what you have to give to the world. I'm looking at Shannon Sharpe. I'm listening to how he spoke. I'm listening to those text messages and I'm reading them and I'm totally disgusted. I'm shamed for him. And so when I say shame, I believe this is how Shannon got to where he is today. Shame and guilt. This bad, immoral, wicked behavior. That you would speak to anyone like that. You would say those things to anyone like that. And it appears or comes across as if though he got an attitude with you. And she said something to the effect, well, I don't want anybody choking me. And his response is, well, that's what comes with whatever, you pretty much did. I have no idea what it is that she has allegedly done. But let's talk about the stupidity of Shannon Sharpe.
Because before you do that, I'll play this really quickly.
Okay.
Oh, no, that's not what I want to do.
Like, I don't know. Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing yet. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, no, that mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna fucking choke the shit out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I don't.
You know what?
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
I was the fat friend.
Sandy Chance, thank you so much for the super chat. Shannon should have learned from Diddy, pay before the tapes drop. He's finished, especially when the video drops. Well, he tried to pay, and so did Diddy. He tried to pay before it dropped. But once she found out that, he was getting this $100 million contract, her lawyer, the Tony Busby special, Tony Busby is like, nah, we going back. We want more money. We want more than this 10 million. So they were in negotiations. He tried. Felicia, go ahead and finish your thoughts.
Thank you so much. So when I think about what Mr. Sharpe said about Tony Busby, listen, folks on this panel and folks in this chat, we know what a slime, woman beater, tooth breaker, STD sharer Tony Busby is. We know he has robbed his own clients. We know he's not moral. He's not honest. And this whole thing about being a Marine is BS. However, She knew who to go to. And she went, as I learned today, a long time ago. Long time is at least 6 months. So why do I bring that up? Because many of us was following the Sean Jay-Z Carter case. And many of us who had followed it in detail knew that the plaintiff, the Jane Doe in that matter, was not going to be victorious. There was nothing going in her direction that was going to help her to prove her case. However, stupid Shannon must not have been, because had he been following the Sean Carter case, he would have known that that case was going to be dropped. But no, what was he doing? He was in there negotiating. And according to his lawyer, to his knowledge, the base number was 10 million. That's the base that he could affirm and confirm. So I believe Shannon thought Sean was going to lose his case. And so he was trying to go in there and get ahead of this, because I understand that he asked her several times to sign an NDA and she refused. And based on her lawsuit, she says he's the one that started recording their interactions, and he was sharing it with his friends. Hello? That he was going out and showing everybody a he and a kiki about what he's doing to someone. And let's be very honest here, that could be his granddaughter. This is beyond immoral and despicable and wicked and insensitive. I don't care if she's on 400 panels, international, doing what she's doing. That doesn't mean that you need to go and violate her as well. So now he's coming to his friends and his colleagues saying, yeah, release the whole tape. Why? Because he thinks this is going to take him to the next level of him showing how great a lover he is. No, sir, you're a beast. You sound like Jeffrey Madry, the former NYPD person. You're brutally analyzing people and harming people. They're telling you no, stop, and this is all you know. You're not a good lover. You're not a good partner. You're not a good companion. You're a predator and you're an abuser. And this is your last stop. He can get up here in front of all the people he want to get up in front of. Not only do I think she's going to get twice as much as they had already negotiated, he's going to have to pay her, and he may very well not get the deal that he wants that's on the table. He's a stupid man with a very shameful and guilty past that he needs to address so that he can go on and have some kind of success in his life. These single men, old men, dirty old men, immoral old men need to be off these streets. And they're talking about, well, he's a 9-time Pro Bowler. I don't care. I don't care. I think for me, he's right there with Jeffrey Madry. Right there with Jeffrey Madry. No compassion I have. Go into counseling. Try to go clean yourself up, because he's probably a walking infection. And I recall somebody talking about, well, he had knee surgery and hip surgery and all this other side kind of stuff. Well, that's no reason for you to be brutalizing women and picking up children in the gym. I'm done.
Children, 19. Julius, you're up.
He deserves to, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
He deserves to get what's coming to him. I heard that phone call. And he sounds like a dirtbag. So the dirtbag deserves what's coming to him.
Thank you. Whew. Listen, we're going to stay connected to this story, see how it all pans out. I'm going to go ahead and run right into the next story. The next, because I caught everybody on this one, right? I'll at least show my screen shifted a little bit. I just wanted to make sure. So I'm going to go ahead and roll right into the next story. The next story is Walmart is locking up the meat. Walmart is locking up the meat. So let me go ahead and share screen. So Walmart shoppers are stunned to discover elaborate new anti-theft measure on meats. It's come to this. Is this a mistake? And I thought that was cute. A dismayed Walmart shopper has gone viral after sharing a video online depicting the store's butcher aisle barricaded by tiny wire cages. Viewers of the video with over 1.9 million views expressed their shock to learn their strained lives the grocery store goes through to protect their products. That's when you know it's bad. TikTok X Solid Sold said in the snippet posted on April the 8th. In the TikTok video posted by Oakwood 19136, a man holds a pack of Angus ribeye steaks priced at $20.83, locked in a sleeve of metal wiring. Do you see all the wiring there? They're not playing. You will not be stealing their steaks. Yo, you got to be kidding. Walmart has the steak locked up. Holy, you know what? It comes to this, the man said in the video. This is getting bad now. The TikTok, ostensibly based in Florida store, has amassed 8.1 million views and tens of thousands of comments as people express their outrage and assumptions about why a common grocery item would be locked away. Viewers agree that the high security measures are insane, unbelievable, and sad. Is this for real? Someone asked. A whole prison fence and ankle monitor for 2 steaks, another commented. Caging items to prevent theft and fraud is now common practice among other popular chains, including Target, CVS, and Walgreens. Major retailers across the country begin testing new measures, such as locked display cases and electronic tags, to combat rising shoplifting rates in recent years, with mostly negative reviews from both shoppers and top executives. In 2022, stores in New York City locked even cheap meat like Spam in anti-theft cases. Walmart did not immediately reply to the post request for a comment. However, earlier this year, Walgreens CEO admitted that anti-theft measures hurt sales. You know why? Because what happens is when you go to ring for somebody, you're like standing there forever. And then you start to think, do I really need and want this? You like, forget it. The top executive at Walgreens laminated the loss of sales from putting items like toothpaste behind lock and key to crack down on rampant shoplifting that has plagued pharmacy chains around the country. When you lock things up, you don't sell as many of them. We kind of proven that pretty conclusively. Tim Whitworth, CEO of Walgreens Boots Alliance, told investors during an earnings call. And it's true, because I have left some stores. I'm like, I'm not waiting all day for them to unlock this. Leo, your thoughts?
Girl, that's a mess. And I remember reading in the Business Insider one time before when they really tried to crack down on theft, and they addressed the ratio between the cost of these anti-theft measures and any profits that were actually rendered during the, a certain quarter, a couple of quarters or whatever, after they put in these anti-theft measures. And it doesn't really work. It's not productive. I don't know what's going on with the meat. I don't know how the people steal the meat. I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know. Maybe it's a crew that come in and steal up all the meat and run out the door. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. I think that's terrible, though. I really do. And I wouldn't even go to that store, to be honest with you, because I can't do all that.
Waiting for somebody to unlock your dinner for you. Savannah, your thoughts?
I'm going to agree with Leo that these anti-theft measures that all these retail stores are doing are not cost productive and are actually costing them more than it is helping the situation. I think a store going back to old school, by eliminating the self-checkouts and having more cashiers, more people up front, and more people on the floor. But it's all about the bottom line dollar for these companies. And they're seeing that their efforts are falling in the red and the negative. I seen many stories of people, and times are hard. People are struggling out here. Prices are high, paychecks are small. And and that when you talk about prices, it also includes utilities, insurance. Kids are going to be out of school soon, so if folks are really going through a tough time down here and out here, and I've seen many of them, put it in their jackets, put meat in their jackets or in their down their pants, sweatpants, in their purse. I've seen that situation before. So, and plenty of videos online too about how they beat the system or try to beat the system, but Walmart is one of those organizations that rolled back DEI and cut a lot of benefits for their employees. So they're reaping what they sow. They're not taking care of their employees or their community. So the community is striking back.
Thank you, Savannah. Julius, your thoughts?
What? I don't understand the premise of locking up the meat. I don't understand it, and you know what? I think it's not for me to understand it. They wanna do the crying games now, and they wanna lock everything up. But yeah, everything was all good just 6 months ago. No, mm-mm. You're not gonna roll back policies to where you was benefiting from our pocket and expect us to shop the same. Nah, mm-mm.
Felicia, your thoughts?
Well, I guess I don't buy a lot of protein like that, so I didn't even know if that's extremely high or extremely low. I think it's kind of insulting uh, to your client base, to the people who come and do business with you. There's got to be a better way to monitor the goods. I don't see the eggs under arrest. I don't see the bacon under arrest. And the eggs over here, they're running $8.99 a dozen, and the bacon was $10.99 a pound. And I think more people are looking for eggs and bacon than over there at the steak. And Savannah brought to mind, you could put a lot of stuff under lock and key, but if the person is shoving it in their pants and putting it down the top, I don't want to buy it anyway. So maybe you need to go back to having more personnel be present, a bigger presence, and have your employees feel like they're being valued. Because I'm not going to get beaten up and beat down for some steak fillets that somebody's running out the store with. I'm just not. So, but maybe if you invest in me and my family, I'll be more on the lookout and say to security, hey, somebody's over there taking something, or they put something in their bag. Or I don't even know if that works anymore, because you got to take your own bag to the store. So I don't know. They got to come up with a better way. I wouldn't be over there shopping. I wouldn't do it. I have no interest. But when we talk about, there's other things that we need to look at. And yes, the economy is bad. I don't know if they can bring the prices down. Maybe the people who are actually taking these goods are going to take them no matter what the cost. So I'm done.
Thank you. I'll just show you the video, the actual video real quick, a little closer up. You can see it. Let's see.
Baby, this one you know is bad. When they put miniature gates so you don't steal, baby, they meats. Oh, girl, this got to be bad, Lord Jesus. Help our people, Lord. This the.
Katrina, your thoughts?
I don't know what we're gonna do with Felicia. Felicia said the eggs ain't on the wrist and the bacon ain't on the wrist. Don't they know they got people that know how to go in and get that stuff off, get them gates off that stuff if they want to steal it? You have girls know how to take those security things off clothes if they want to steal. So if they want to steal that stuff, they can still steal it. And Walmart is good at locking up certain products for against certain type of people like the black hair products. They lock those up in some stores. Um, and I don't know why anybody would buy any meat from Walmart anyway, because majority of their meat be on recall, and half of it don't even be no good. It will make you sick. Because I know people comes back and return meat, and Walmart's supposed to put that stuff in claims, but they put it right back on the shelf. And I know this because I used to work customer service part time, so I know they put it back on the shelves. I wouldn't buy no meat from Walmart, and Walmart is full of it anyway. And if they trying to stop the customers from taking the stuff out, they need to realize it's the ones that working inside the store is their biggest thieves, especially in electronics, and the ones that do stocking, and the ones that work the back in the in the electronics. Those are the thieves. Why they trying to stop their customers from stealing? You need to stop your employees from stealing, because that's is why that your usage is low. It's the inside job. We had managers putting flat screens in futon beds, boxes. So they need to check that instead of doing this to their customer. Because I, like you said, I wouldn't want to shop nowhere where I feel like you think I'm going to come in there and steal your meat or steal your hair products or steal your clothes. No, ma'am, you can keep that mess. And Walmart is full of it anyway. So whatever they get for trying to eliminate a customer service, trying to eliminate people working at the cash register, having you doing all the stocking and shelving, taking your own stuff to the car and everything. They need to get exactly what they deserve. And no, I'm not for people for stealing, but Walmart is full of crap. So what it is, what it is. They need to lose money. That's all I got.
Wayne, your thoughts?
They're treating that meat just like a high ticket item. I heard that meat or beef, whatever, is going to be so expensive that you're going to think the eggs were a discount. I'm not shocked that they would do that. I don't see nobody complaining about TVs that got those things around them. And when you want to buy it, they take it off at the front. They haven't always had those tags on clothes to keep you from stealing them. They haven't always had that. But because people are stealing, they have it now. I seen this one lady had meat. She was loaded down. When she was trying to leave, she just looked like a big woman. And they made her take everything out. She was taking steaks out, pork, all that stuff. So I'm not shocked that they would do it. It's getting very expensive now, and they got to protect their product. And if they keep doing that, people gonna get used to it, and they can be buying the meat. They didn't stop buying clothes. They didn't stop buying televisions. They didn't stop buying printers and all the other stuff that they put those electronic ropes and stuff around them that you don't get out the store. So you won't be walking out the store with no meat that you didn't pay for. So I don't have a problem with it. Even I don't eat beef and pork.
Thank you, Wayne. I appreciate you. In my opinion, your thoughts?
Well, I'm gonna say this, and I ain't gonna take it back. Walmart don't want us there anyway, so why you spend your money there? They just as bad as Target. Okay, they don't want us there neither. And the people that they do have there of color that work there, they work you to the bone with less pay and no overtime and no raises. They give you a quarter raise. Okay, a quarter. What is a quarter gonna do for a family? Not nothing. So I feel like we should always be boycotting them. They meat ain't no better than nobody else, and they food ain't no better than nobody else. Actually, it's worse. So go ahead and spend your money at another store that won't our black business, and stay away from these people that keep telling us they don't want us. Don't let a person tell you twice how they feel about you.
Well, there's that. Now, let me just share a screen. Thank you. In my opinion, I'm going to backtrack to the story, but then I'm going to carry on because everybody was saying how Monique told Shannon Sharpe to get his life together, but he didn't catch the message. Let's listen.
Hold on. Let me go get you some eggs and cheese and some toast with apple butter, because that's going to get your energy back up. I'm talking right to you. So he thought I was going to be scared. Yes, I'm talking. And I know an old gal, she'd be good to you. Her name is Elladora. Now I'm looking right at y'all. Let me tell y'all what Shannon needs. Let me tell you what my baby needs. He need him an old fat gal who can bake good cakes, make some smothered turkey wings, who gonna rub his feet at the nighttime, okay, and gonna have a sip of his cognac to make him feel better about himself when he come home at night. That's what Shannon needs. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl. This is your auntie talking to you. Take your get you an old out there that can love you old. You're trying to hang out with these young and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it. When they want you to go for the 4th round, you looking at her like, listen, you want some money to go to Starbucks? Yeah, because I can't go no further. But if you get your older girl, when you get to that 4th round, she's gonna say, hold on. Let me go get you some eggs and cheese and some toast with apple butter, because that's gonna.
Well, there goes Shannon Sharpe. Now he in trouble. I'm going to roll into the last story. Let's get into it. He should have listened to Monique, but you know what? It seemed like Shannon Sharpe don't listen to nobody but himself. Let's take a look at this story really quickly.
An 11-year-old girl screams, begs for help as 43-year-old Marius Mutu pins her to the ground. Look closely. He's leaning on her back with what looks like a phone in his hand. She tries to push his arm away.
Get off of her!
Another person intervenes, and the video stops there. This happened Saturday on Allison Park Place. We showed the video to people living nearby.
As a mom, it makes me sick to my stomach. And for like a grown man to do something to a vulnerable person is ridiculous.
The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office says Mutu told deputies someone had been throwing eggs at his apartment for the past week. Mutu said it happened again Saturday. He saw the 11-year-old girl walking by and assumed she was responsible. Deputies say Mutu chased her, forced her to the ground, and restrained her until others intervened. Mutu also told deputies he was trying to take a picture of the child to report her to the apartment management. This woman says she can only imagine how this 11-year-old is feeling.
The long-term trauma and the parents and anybody else who witnessed it, like there's kids all up and down these streets every night. I just think of like, what if it was my kid or our kid? It could be anybody.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news.
Hold on one second. So Florida man arrested after attacking an 11-year-old girl. He was convinced threw eggs at his home. Police arrested a man in Florida who was captured on video pinning an 11-year-old girl to the ground while she begged for her life after he became convinced she was the culprit in a week-long egging attack on his home. Marius Mutu, 43, faces charges for battery and the false imprisonment of a young girl. The child, fearing for her safety, repeatedly screamed for help, and Mutu chased her. He roughly forced her to the ground as she continued wailing. "Please, I wasn't doing anything. I swear on my life. Help me," she cried in terror. It's unclear what Mutu said in her response, but she was frailed wildly as she tried to squirm away from the much larger man. Mutu tried to grab her arms and force them to her sides, as seen in the video captured by neighbors on a nearby balcony. Other residents in the apartment complex called authorities to report an assault after overhearing the girl in distress. Deputies with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office arrived on the scene around noon Saturday. By then, a bystander had intervened and tried to force Mutu off of the girl, according to the video. Mutu tried to make his case by telling authorities that he assumed the girl had egged his home after he spotted her nearby. He claimed that he was trying to take a photo to report her to the apartment complex management team, according to the sheriff's office. Neighbors and authorities alike were appalled by Mutu's actions, the long-term trauma, and the parents and anybody else who witnessed it. Like their kids all up and down these streets, the neighbor was saying every night. I just think of like, what if that was my kid or our kid? Like it could be anybody. Resident Hannah Noel told the news. The child endured a terrifying and traumatic experience at the hands of someone who chose to take matters in his own hands, says Hillsborough County Sheriff Chad. We remain committed to protecting our children and ensuring those who harm them are held fully accountable. So now his temper got him in trouble. Leo, your thoughts?
On a child, nonetheless, they need to throw him up under the jail. I'm so glad this made the national news because he need to be he should be embarrassed publicly. He needs to. I hope to God that that the parents of this child have a one-on-one with him because he really is out of control. It is. I mean, his house got egged. Are you serious? And this is the reaction. I mean, really, dude? These people are literally stressed to the end of their wits because this is not a reaction that a grown man would have to an 11-year-old child that you suspect of egging your house all week. It's just not. People aren't being reasonable. It's just not. I hope he ain't got. Did he get a bond? Is he out or is he still in?
I don't know. I didn't see an updated story. I just know he got arrested. I think he just got arrested.
Wow. I hope, and you know what? And if he do get out on bond or whatever, I hope the neighborhood run him out. He need to get run out of town. It makes me wonder whether or not is he married? Does he have children? Like, y'all, I tell you, it is, yeah. This is terrible. That's all.
Thank you. Savannah, your thoughts?
I say give the dad 5 minutes with this man and the uncles. This is a straight assault. I hope that the family sues him because this child is going to be traumatized. This man, she had no idea why he was physically grabbing her, and this could have been anything. So I really hope that the dad gets 5 minutes with this monster because there is absolutely no humanity nowhere. No sane person, no adult would rationally think that it's okay to physically assault a child, an 11-year-old child, because they egged your house. Kids been egging people's houses since the 50s, 60s, and beyond. And this is your reaction. I need to look at your children. How do you treat your children in the home? So I really hope that not just the family, but the community, that he faces some repercussions for this assault on a child. That's straight assault. That's child abuse.
Yeah. Julius, your thoughts?
He planned to attack her just by the article alone. He planned that. And that girl is traumatized. Because what he was doing to her. So I'm going to invoke the village. I haven't did that in forever. All the daddies, uncles, two play cousins. Y'all know what to do. I'm not going to say 5 minutes. I'm going to say 2 minutes. Y'all know the conversation that needs to happen. Because he was wrong. So again, village, man, step up. And I hope he's not let out of jail. People been... Do I like when people's houses get egged? No. But to resort to this? No. Out of order. We not doing it. And to that bystander, I could tell the way he was running, he was trying to push that man off so that girl could get free. So that's somebody already from the village trying to step in. But her immediate village needs to step in and regulate, like Warren G say.
Felicia, your thoughts?
I'm still trying to breathe. I'm still trying to breathe. You know, she's 11.
Mm-hmm.
And this girl, what's her name? The Gabby girl with Shannon. She 20. Shannon 56, and this man is 43. I think this is telling us a whole lot about what's going on in this society, where females are treated and abused publicly, spoken to badly, traumatized, and abused publicly. And yes, Wayne is right. He's out on $6,000 bail. That's no money. Now, what if I'm her mother? You all would judge me, because I'm going to get to whipping that man's ass. Everything in me would say, you know what? This is a good reason to go to jail, but I got to kill this person because I'm going to go do a long time. What he did to that girl was assault, battery, kidnapping, all of these horrors in the middle of the day. They said it's 12 o'clock afternoon. She's out there with other kids. And I agree with Julius. I think he targeted her. I don't think this was about no eggs. I think he's one of these pedophiles, these predators out here. What are you, sitting up at your window watching the children all day? She was walking by and you assumed it was her? Oh, no. And to God the glory, she knew how to scream.
Yes, she did.
And how to fight. Oh, yes. Now, if they want to have that predator, because now he has to sign up as an offender. They want to keep him in the community. He's going to do worse. $6,000, they let that animal out in the street. But for meat in a supermarket, they have it locked up. Who are we becoming? I'm done.
Thank you. Katrina, your thoughts?
My thoughts is this child didn't know if she was going to be S8. She didn't know if she was going to be unalive. She didn't know what was going to happen to her. And for him to say that this was happening all week, if this been happening all week, why didn't you just buy a camera or something and put it out there so you can see who's out there egging your house? And the apartment complex normally have cameras. So if you want to see who's egging your house, why didn't you go into the apartment complex, into the manager office and ask them, do they run the cameras back so that you can see who's egging your house? Like they said, Felicia, Julius, and everybody else, you probably did target this young girl. You probably did. And you on top of her? And if you want to take a picture of her, you could have just told her, calls her name and took a picture of her and let her been on her way if you thought that she was the one that was egging your house. No, you had more up your sleeves than your arms. And I'm glad somebody came out there and saw you and got you off that child. And getting out on a $6,000 bail, that is totally ridiculous. That is sick. That is totally sick. What about this child might have need counseling. And I'm telling what she might need. You know, when she go to sleep, she may have nightmares of him on top of her. You don't know what this child is going to go through. And for him to get out on $6,000, the judgment. The judicial system. The judicial. I can't get my words out. I'm trying to eat, but anyway, the judicial system is totally, totally messed up for letting this man out, and he had harmed a child. This is not an adult. This is a child that you harmed. This child is going to have a lot of PTSD. She go to sleep, she might have, she might wake up in sweats. You don't know what might happen, especially not knowing what this person's finna do to you, and you didn't do anything wrong. Like I said, it's just a sad situation. That's all I got, Diva.
Thank you. Wayne, your thoughts?
Yeah, was we on a bond like $6,000? Don't you only pay like 10%, like $600?
I don't know how that works, but I think you do.
Yeah, it does. If you got a bond, if your bond is like, say for instance, if his bond was 60,000, he had to pay 10%, which is 6,000. So if he had a $6,000 bond, he can get out on $600.
So he just really got out only out for $600. I agree with Katrina. I didn't like the way he was on top of that girl.
Mm.
I agree with Juice in the chat. Whether this girl did it or not, you don't put your hands on people's or other people's children.
Right.
This is what happened in broad daylight. I'm surprised more people. I just thought I was going to see a bunch of people running to help her as loud as she was screaming. I'm just surprised that, that many people weren't around. But I agree. I think he was watching them little kids and decided, he going to go after one. And I don't know that's how he get off or whatever. But the way he was on that girl, I can believe that she really feared that the worst was going to happen.
Say it, Mr. Wayne. Say it.
And she got to live with this for a long time. I mean, this is traumatic because everybody knows what happens. You usually don't come out. The person is usually unalive. They find him down the road somewhere. I can imagine all these thoughts going through this girl's head as to what's going to happen. She's screaming at the top of her lungs, but ain't nobody coming. I can only imagine what she was going through. I'm surprised. I thought somebody gonna come through, maybe a shovel or something, and bust him upside his head. I couldn't understand why he had to be on that girl to hold an 11-year-old girl down. He could have had her by her arm or whatever. But he looked like he about 220, 230, 240 on top of an 11-year-old girl. If this man doesn't get some kind of charge like child abuse, aggravated assault, and be put on that list for predators, because I think this is what this was. He didn't say, he said, I thought, I assumed it was her. I'm done.
Thank you. In my opinion, your thoughts?
So to me, this is despicable. He was straddling the young girl, okay, at 11. Okay, she's not even a teenager yet. At 11, you're straddling a girl, holding her down. Tell me something, you trying to take a picture? He could have took a picture from his apartment, zoomed in and everything. Okay, you ain't have to touch her to take a picture. I am discombobulated at his whole excuse that I was trying to take a picture. It seemed like he was trying to take her home.
Tell it.
I know this girl is traumatized, okay? Because I'm traumatized looking at it. My baby girl just turned 11 today, and I be dang on if you put your hands on her, I'm going to go to jail that day, okay? I'm going to go to jail. Trust and believe. I'm telling you, nobody has the right, whether you thought this or not, because I'm not buying it, but whether you thought it or not, and you was trying to take a picture, sir, you have no right, no jurisdiction, no laws that back you up to put your hands on somebody else's child. This is a minor that he straddled and held down. And all while she was screaming, he was still on top of her, telling her to stop. Lay down. This is what he was saying in the video. Why do you need her to stop and lay down if you're trying to take a picture? Take the picture and leave the girl alone. No, he was trying to do something else. This sick SOB needs to be out of the apartment complex together. And if all those parents don't rally together and do a petition to get him out, then they some crazy fools too.
Ooh.
Well, I'm trying to figure out who was recording the video.
Somebody is on their balcony. But they said that person did call 911.
Okay.
Or someone called 911. I can't say for sure it was the person I was calling, but somebody did call 911. Listen, guys, I appreciate y'all. Shannon Sharpe. We're gonna stay connected to this and figure out and see what happens. Walmart. I like your point, Wayne. All this stuff is locked up, so I guess now it's just gonna be a common thing. The meat is getting locked up too, and this man that attacked the 11-year-old. Yeah, now y'all got me thinking it's a little bit more behind that than what he's saying. Listen, guys, y'all know the routine. If you didn't hit that like button on the way in, hit it on the way out. Good night and goodbye, everybody.